Hello, I'm MCJ, Matt Collins-Jones, and welcome to the Power Chatform episode 6. In today's episode, I talk to two of my favourite people in the community. We speak to Inés Urrutia de Souza from Uruguay. We speak to Anna about her love of HR, how she used to be a psychologist, and her travels around the world. And we also speak to Larry Merkelis. He is a Dynamics and Power Platform consultant in the UK, has a love of cars, and we speak about the fact that he is the heart of the Badger. So let's get into today's episode. Hello, and welcome to the Power Chatform. I'm your host, Matt Collins-Jones, also known as MCJ, and today I have two fantastic guests and two people that I'm really happy that I get to chat with today. First up, we have Larry Merkelis. He is what we lovingly refer to in the community as the heart of the Badger. He works for a company that he'll tell you about in a bit that my mind has instantly gone blank even though I know it. Welcome to the show, Larry.
Hi.
Next up, we have Inés Urrutia. That was close. It was close to that one. I'll do better in the future. Anna is a Microsoft MVP. She lives in South America. She is a HR guru. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you. Hello.
So apologies for the terrible pronunciations of both of your names there. I did practice. The practice wasn't very good, but I'm really happy to be able to talk to both of you. So how about we do some introductions? Anna, do you want to tell us a little bit about you, who you are, where you're from, what you do for a living, that sort of thing?
Yes, thank you. Well, I'm gonna pronounce my name like it should be. My name is Ana Inés Urrutia de Souza. I'm from Uruguay. I'm currently living in South America. I'm a psychologist and I'm MVP as well. I joined the HR community like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I started playing with the solution Dynamics for Human Resources. And 6 months ago, I joined an amazing company that works 100% in the solution. So I blog about HR. I work around this solution, and I don't know what else to tell you. I'm a cheerleader. That's another thing from my end. I'm always helping people to feel better and trying to do stuff for others. So that's mainly who I am.
You're a very cheerful person. It's one of the things that I really like about you. You're very encouraging of others and bringing out people's smiles. Like you can kind of see me and Larry smiling on this call already just talking to you. The fact that you're a psychologist, you don't tell a lot of people that up front. Usually, I think I found out like a couple of months into knowing you, and I was there like, should I have been worried about all the things that I've said to Anna? All those times she's asked me like how I feel about my mother and stuff like that. You know, should I have been worrying about these sorts of things? But no, it's all good. You know, you're great at speaking to people, and that's what I really love about you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, in my case, I'm a psychologist, but I never worked like with counseling. So yeah. I've never got the chance to experience that. So I always focus in HR. So you're safe. You too, Larry. No worries.
We're safe. Let's move on to you, Larry. So who are you? Where are you from? And what do you do for a living?
So what has not been mentioned here on this chat, but it has been mentioned elsewhere, and probably known well in the community. I'm actually originally from Lithuania, and my full name is Laurynas. Instead of Larry, I decided to use this nickname type of thing to try and avoid the butchering of my proper name. So that was my own choice. I've been in the dynamic space. I have been about getting close to 7 years now, I think 6-7 years, somewhere thereabout. But I have been in technology all my life. I've actually got an IT degree, and then I have worked in the desktop support for quite a few years. And into the Dynamics, I got quite accidentally. I got into. I was changing the job, and then all of a sudden there was some sort of a support job in some sort of application called CRM.
Yeah.
And, okay, well, let's give it a go.
Yeah.
And I did. I stayed since. So yeah, I work with the. I have started actually quite recently with an amazing company, HSO. I am a Dynamics 365 consultant there. And then there's some exciting work that is coming my way, and then quite exciting to work with them. Yeah, that's probably about it for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went blank on HSO, and I think it was intentionally went blank on HSO, like maybe subconsciously. Like Anna, like maybe subconsciously, because HSO just got one of my best friends who used to work with me and moved to HSO. So I think subconsciously I blanked out the name because I didn't want to remember it. So, but no, they're a great company to work for. I know my friend's happy over there, so that's all good. So you started talking a little bit, Larry, about you started to apply for a job. You've been in Dynamics for about 6-7 years. That's kind of like a way, like a lot of people. It's one of the questions I always ask is how people get into Dynamics and how people get into this, because it's a very niche thing. No one ever goes to university thinking, do you know what? I'd like to work in the business applications suite of Microsoft. So for you, it was a support role that came up. You just jumped at it, and from there, just worked your way up to where you are now.
Yes, that is what happened, and I hear quite a few of those stories. Is people just I was working in a business, and business started using this application, and then I started managing this application, and all of a sudden I became a consultant. That is a very common story. It's slightly varying from what I did, but still in the same spirit, I suppose.
Yeah, still the same way. So what about you, Anna? How did you go from psychology to Dynamics and Dynamics HR?
Well, I always knew I wanted to work in HR. So before ending the career, my degree, I started working in HR departments as an analyst or assistant. At some point, I was working in a company that for me was extra challenging. I didn't like the place, so I quit. And I was 3 months unemployed. And after a lot of interviews and going through a lot of stuff, I found out a company that was Microsoft partner that was looking for an HR assistant. Okay. I was my level was a bit higher than that, but I was looking for a job, so I applied. Yeah. It was 5 months only employment. Yeah. Contract, like a contract, yeah. So, but I decided I wanted to join, so I started working there, and after 3 months, the CEO of the company decided that I have the profile that requires to be in projects instead of HR. Okay. So I implemented internally Dynamics for Human Resources, part of with support, of course, of a lot of people, but I was like leading that project. And after that implementation, I moved into project management. That was a nightmare for me. And learning and implementing HR with clients, with customers. So that's my path.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Like I've always wanted to be able to just go, do you know what? I quit. And just go and just find something new. So I think sometimes you hear some of like the best stories in the world from people that just gone, do you know what, I can't take this anymore. I'm just going to quit. I'm going to start again and let's go find something new. And look at you now, Microsoft MVP. It's MVP in December, was it?
1st of December, yeah.
December, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So one of the things I like to do is I always like to find out what people are working on. Do you guys have anything cool that you're working on at the moment, or any projects that you're working on? For me, I've just kind of done a small proof of concept that kind of didn't end up as a finished proof of concept. I did a logic app that was trying to connect to like an on-premise database, and I learned a lot about logic apps. Just a tip: it's not just Flow with a not so pretty interface or Power Automate. So that's kind of what I've been working on. But Larry, have you been working on anything cool at the moment? Anything you want to talk about?
Well, actually, nothing specific. It's to a certain degree a bit mundane tasks I was having recently. But the project that is coming up, it is effectively a custom model-driven app business process application that we were intending to build for customer, and that's actually something that does excite me because it's going to be full-on process for the business. And I think what excites me more about it is trying to utilize all the new features that Microsoft are releasing.
Yeah.
Even to the point of the experimental features that have been released very, very, very recently about the ALM process, and then being able to actually read the code of the application. Although that is not going to be used on this project just yet. But other features, for example, one of those that I have tried out just the other week was a model-driven app notifications.
Oh, yeah.
I have tried that out, and it does work, but it only works on a mobile device. So there's still a bit to go to be extremely excited about it.
Yeah.
But it's still something new. Yeah.
Yeah. Wave 1 2021 is coming. The release notes are in like a week and a half. Yeah. So maybe some new announcements there and new toys to play with come February. So. Yeah. Anna, is there anything you've been working on recently? Any cool projects, or do you want to talk about potentially your upcoming move to Europe?
I want to talk first about something that is exciting to me, but it's not a project specific artwork. I realized that this year I need to focus a bit more in becoming more solid technically talking, because I come from this soft side where I know the process, I know a part of the solution, but I'm planning to understand a bit more and get to dive deeper into entities, tables, into all that kind of stuff, and try to build something. I've been working with Power Virtual Agents, but I want to create something that's a bit more challenging for myself. Because I feel like I've reached like a certain level of comfort, and I want to upgrade that.
That sounds awesome. I always love those sorts of things of trying to understand more and build more and push yourself more and stuff like that. And I'm all about that. So if you need any help, me and Larry are, and have a wonderful community as well to help as well.
Yes, for sure.
So I wanted to ask you both something, and it's kind of inspired from the fact that, Larry, you said you're from Lithuania, you currently live in the UK. Anna, you're from Uruguay, and I just kind of alluded to the fact that you're potentially moving to Europe. My grandparents were immigrants from Ireland, and they moved over here, and my mother was born over here and I was born over here. But I always have a strong connection of like where I'm from in Ireland, which is a bit weird because I wasn't actually born there, but I have a very strong familial connection. And the UK is always known as, has previously been known as this place where, bring people, you're refugees, you're sick, everyone can come to England and have a better life, kind of like the idea of the States, the in the pursuit of happiness sort of thing. But there is also like a flip side to it, and it's like people that don't like people coming to different countries and taking jobs and things like that. So I kind of want to ask, seeing as you're both from other countries and then potentially moving to different countries, or Larry moving over here. What are your thoughts on living in the UK or living anywhere and being a non-native to that country, and how people have interacted with you both positively and maybe negatively in business and in life? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Larry, you go first.
Quite a few, to be fair, as you probably can expect. Well, first of all, my approach is that wherever you are, especially when you're not home, you have to respect local culture, local customs, and I feel that I do that. Therefore, I do not encounter many issues. But at the same time, people who don't know me and then just see me, hear me speaking English, they hear that I'm a foreigner, and because of certain preconceptions that people may have, they just consider me, oh, yet another foreigner.
Yeah.
So it is just the feel, but I try to avoid those people and surround myself with people who appreciate for who I am rather than where I'm from. And then I think I did find that community, especially this last year or so, that it is definitely a multinational community, despite of where they live. They do appreciate others for what they do, and the other side, of course, of this community is that people are striving to get better. So as Anna was just saying, that you reach a certain level and then you look for the next step to upgrade to get better.
Yeah.
But there is the other side. Especially if you live abroad, you still have a feeling. That you are a foreigner, and it's not necessarily that it comes even despite the situation with people looking at you for what your accent is and such like. But it is different. It doesn't feel. Although it is my home, but it doesn't feel quite homely.
Yeah.
I would describe that as. So I have been in the UK getting close to 16 years now.
Yeah.
And I do miss miss where I come from. My childhood, teenagehood places. And then when I was visiting the last time, I just visited quite a few of those places, met a few friends. It was really, really refreshing to have that. So overall, the feeling being foreigner, you are still a foreigner, whatever happens. But it's just how comfortable you make it for yourself. So it may be as good. I'm not complaining about the conditions. I've got a good job. I'm enjoying what I do. I can speak the language. I can understand people, what they're saying. But it's still not quite home. That's just my thinking.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to ask, is because I have an English accent, and because I'm white, and because I'm a male, I kind of have this privilege, and it's always good to try and reflect on the people that may not have that sort of a privilege, and to try and understand the struggles a bit more and understand those sorts of things, because it's not it's still a nasty side of this world that I don't like, and I try and talk to people and get through the fact that we are one race and one people, and why be anything other than kind to people? Like, what's the purpose?
Yeah, it is the unspeciality, the psychology of people.
Yeah.
The psychology of people, but I do agree with you. Is being kind always helps, and then being unkind or protective sometimes, or closed down, whichever way it may be or sound.
I mean, We're all immigrants of some direction, you know. We've all come from different places. We've all settled here and we've all settled there. It's one of those things. So
Anna, do you expect what's your expectation in your up and coming move?
I want to talk a bit about my previous the place of living, because I was a year and a month living in Peru, and that for me was a very great experience. It was like a growth experience. But I didn't find there that I was like segregated, or people talked behind me about where I'm from or why I'm performing this role. For me was more a challenge, because I needed to adapt to a culture that's very different from my culture. And the Peruvians have a lot of traditional roles that I don't agree so much. So I wanted to fight some battles that weren't mine, and that was a nightmare. But I did enjoy. I did have a great time. I'm not sure what to expect for the upcoming trip, for the upcoming relocation. I also don't know when that's going to happen. We need COVID to get over, to end.
I think we all need COVID to end.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what to expect. I think that maybe I'm like I know I need to lower my expectations, but I'm expecting to be a part of a community or a population that it's more like acceptance, that it's more acceptance than Peru, for example, to compare. But I don't have any clue what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, it will. Yeah, I think you'll be fine in the Netherlands, if I can say that.
Let's hope.
They're very chilled over there. I don't know what it is. They must put something in the water or in the cake, but they're all very chilled.
I will get in trouble.
No. So, Anna, you started a user group with one of both of our favorite people in the world, Malin Martinez. Tell me a little bit about the HR user group and why you set it up.
We realized that we are usually HR. It's treated like a part of finance and operations, and Malin and I wanted to stand out and let people know that despite they're similar and HR sometimes works as a part of the solution, we are like separated solutions that we solve different challenges. So we've been talking for a lot. Malin is my mentor since I started. I love her. He's my mentor and my friend, and she has been always there for me. So we've been talking a lot this past year, and we realized we needed to make something to unite the people that is around the solution. We didn't have much interaction. We do have a kickoff from our first meeting. We stopped for December, and we're going to start again now that things are a bit settled. But the idea is to unite cases and people behind the solution to I don't know, bring more attention to it, because HR doesn't have as much marketing as it should be, as it should have. So we're working on that.
Yeah, I think it's really great as well, because I remember talking to someone that was the head of the AX, or Finance and Operations UG in the UK, and he kind of asked me once, he said, "Oh, how many people do you have at your CRM UG meetings?" And I said, "Oh, somewhere between like 30 to 50 was like the maximum we had once, but it's usually somewhere between like 20 to 30, 35. And he went, "Wow, we can't even get 12 people to our meetings." And I'm just there like, but AX is so much bigger. There's so much of it. How does anyone know all those things? And that's why user groups try and came together, to try and share that knowledge and talk about the difficulties that people have. And I agree with you. HR is one that is just something not a lot of people are talking about, and you need to understand these things and learn these things. So I think it's fantastic that you and Malin are doing this initiative.
Thank you very much.
So Larry, I commented earlier that you're actually in my phone as Larry Heart of the Badger in my phone. We're also all wearing really awesome t-shirts today. I'm loving Anna's parrot top, and yours says, "This is my human costume. I'm really a badger." And I have a X-Men Apocalypse War t-shirt on. Anyone who's listening to this and not watching the video. So I mentioned a little bit about the Bespoke Badger, but I want to get it straight from the badger's mouth. What is the Bespoke Badger?
Well, it is a community. It has been started and named by very prominent and loud persona in our community, Chris Huntingford. But then after a few meetings, he decided to hand it over to me, because I was always there at the beginning until the end.
Propping up the bar.
And quite often I am to this day. Yeah. So I am opening the badge every week, the Bespoke Badger. But since then we have started planning a few more things to happen with the badger. It is the community. So that's the primary thing. And then when people ask, what is it? Is it a place? Is it it is the community. It is the people who are actually coming in. So Anna, yourself, and then Matt, you do visit Badger most of the nights. But we do have quite a few others, and then one of them I cannot miss mentioning is Eldert from the Netherlands,
yeah.
And his wife Angelique, who are there quite often, actually longer than I am. So
well, some of it is conscious, like some of it's, they're not conscious for all of it.
It's not even the point. It's about arriving and then closing it down. But as you probably, Matt, you have mentioned in a few notifications in social media, saying that the badger is something that has helped you. Anna, same. I have not probably said that in that way, but it did help me a lot. It did help me a lot to actually find my place within this community. Unlike most of the rest of the Badger members, who are quite a lot of who are actually MVPs, Microsoft MVPs. I'm not one, and not really getting there, just because I do not really in the position where I'm interested in posting, talking about things, not in the same way as quite a few people do. But I did find my place by being this kind of connecting factor for this community within the Badger, and I'm loving
it. Yeah. I mean, you said something really interesting there, that there's a lot of MVPs there, and there are, and MVPs are awarded for contributions to the community that Microsoft kind of look at and measure. I would love it if they could measure the impact that you and the Badger have had on the community. I don't think that's measurable, I'm afraid, but as you kind of alluded to, it has been a place that's helped me. It's been a place where I could come on a Thursday night and chat to all my friends around the world, and just it is a virtual pub. It's a place where we can come together and talk about anything that's going on, and we can play pub games and all that stuff. and the community, the people there, are what bring people back week on week. It was created out of the idea that we can't all be together, but we're not alone, that we're still a community and we're still there for each other.
Well, although we're not together physically, but we are together in general.
Yeah.
Made me cry.
Oh, sorry. I kind of thought it was beautiful.
Happy tears. Happy tears.
Happy tears. Because it gives us things that we can somewhere where we can come together and chat and learn. So what are the plans for the future of the Badger, do you think?
Well, we have set up the website for the Badger, which still needs a lot of work doing on to get going.
Yeah.
So that was set up literally just to cater for the Christmas party, but we have not managed to progress further since.
Yes, we did do a Christmas party. That's another.
But we're planning to get further, to expand the activities of the community, to support the community, not just being coming to the pub for a chat or a drink, but also we have there is a Badger gym group that is existing. There are Badger foodies. And we also plan to actually start Badger Tech Talks. So the concept of which is a little bit like a music open mic setup and situation. So come and talk about whatever you want to approach. Yet again, it will take a little bit of setting up, but that's probably the closest thing that is coming to happen, going to happen fairly soon.
I have a suggestion. Can we do like a comedy open mic? Like one night we get up there and we tell jokes about like the Power Platform and Microsoft and stuff like that, and see if people laugh at them.
I think some of us would fail miserably.
Well, it's trying. That's the most important thing.
No, well, saying that, Matt, as I have observed you in the Badger, you have been one of the funniest, not most talkative, but one of the funniest people in there. So
I like to think I'm a little bit like Silent Bob from like Clerks and Dogma. Like, I don't say a lot, but what I say is important. And usually it's funny. So
yeah, exactly, it is.
Exactly. So Anna, I first learned of your existence. I first saw you present at I think it was Summit EMEA last year. You did a talk on HR. I think it was a pre-recorded talk, but I loved what you did, and I started following you after that. And then you sent me some messages about just like how I was doing, and like like really positive and really like doing things, like saying really nice things, which is always nice to hear. But your Twitter says you're a cheerleader for almost everything, and I don't think something sums you up more than that statement. So what do you mean by you're a cheerleader for almost everything?
I wasn't like this before, but last year when I was in lockdown in Peru, alone, far away from my family, I realized that I needed to change my mindset. So I decided I wanted to cheer people up, like be supportive to the community around me. Because I did find that also in people around me. I started talking to Malene, and she started helping me, and it's like a way of paying back all the support that I was given at the beginning, and I still have at this moment. So it says almost everything, because I need to keep sense of reality sometimes. Okay. But yeah, it doesn't matter what you're gonna tell me, if you share a project with me, I will cheer you up and try to make you feel great about it. And if you're open to listen to my opinion, that's great. And if you're not, I will support you anyway. So that's part of my approach to life.
Yeah, I really love that idea, and it's something that I try and echo myself. You may notice sort of me on social media, it's a lot of retweeting people, and like with the UGs that we run, we try and give new people or different speakers a stage and a voice, because it was something that was awarded to me, and I always almost like pay it forward. The film, like I like the idea of I was given an opportunity. It's my responsibility where I am now to give others, an opportunity and give others a voice and give others a platform that they can talk on, because I just feel like I have that responsibility. And that's what I really love about you, is that it's just, yes, let's do this thing. You go do that thing. You're killing it. You're always a friendly face to see in an audience when I'm joining, presentations and things like that. So I really love that about you, and I think it's a really awesome trait.
Thank you. But I must say that I'm not always this positive. I have my moments, my moments of darkness, of course. I try to manage them. I think I can manage them, but yeah, most of the time I try to be happy and cheerful.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you talk to my wife, we constantly refer to me as glass half empty, because I have the innate ability to see the darkness in every positive situation. You just won the lottery, yay! But now you have to pay loads of tax, boo, that sort of thing. So that's me all over. So yeah, Larry, you're a big fan of cars, I believe.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. One of the questions I've got is, I've just got a new car recently, and my car is filled with technology. I have like a induction charging mat for my phone. It has like lane detection, so if I'm not indicating, it'll try and keep me in the same lane. It's got adaptive cruise control that can read signs and increase my speed. There's so much technology in this car. I'm not even sure it really requires me behind the wheel a lot of the time. So my question is going to be, I've seen people I think like Shane Young do things with like the Tesla API to like open cars using the Power Platform and things like that. Do you want to see more technology in cars, or do you want to see more mechanical engineering coming back to cars?
Well, actually, I do want to see both.
Okay.
And then both is a kind of two-way street. I see cars generally being, every single car has got its own purpose. So the car that you have got, by the way, I have got very similar car in terms of technology, with pretty much all the fancy bits. But that for me is a family car. Where we sit in, we're all safe, and if someone tries to distract you by talking to you, or kids shout at the back in the back seats, then the car has got that little bit more of protection for the accident that may happen. It also that driving does not drain the energy, because driving actually is an energy draining exercise in general. So, for example, if you do have to commute long distances, and if you are in the car where you changing gear every other minute, where you have to make sure that you're not bumping into the car in front if it is a traffic situation and all that. Whereas these technology-driven cars, they do allow that little bit of reassurance. Going to the other side of it is the mechanical engineering is when you actually want to enjoy the driving for the sake of driving. That is where mechanical engineering comes in. So part of that kind of piece of technology is really modern mechanical engineering is extremely expensive. But there's still some little gems to be found that are mechanical cars that still drive well and can be enjoyed. So just last year, me and my friend, we got an old car, mechanical car. So the biggest piece of electronics that he has got is the electric windows.
Yeah.
And we have taken most of the weight out of that car. Did a bit of maintenance on that, and then took it to the track. So
Okay.
And that is one of the most fun things you can do, considering for what the car is and then how you can enjoy it. I'm not a fan of being fast and irresponsible on public roads, but I'm a fan of driving quickly where it is allowed. So yeah, that is my approach, and look at it. Of course, yet again, part of the Badger thing, we have got people from the Badger who are big fans of F1, Formula One, and then they do follow. And although I consider myself being kind of knowing a little bit about it, but once I get to see how much others follow, I think, oh, I don't know much really.
Yeah. I get that. I'm not really a car guy. When I got this car, even my wife was surprised. She's like, "This is a really good car. You made a really good choice." I was there like, just the sales guy just called me and just said, "Do you want this car?" And I went, "Yeah," and just that was it. Essentially, I made sure it had the things that I wanted, but I didn't really look very hard at it. So
I think.
yeah.
From my perspective, I did a lot of research before getting mine.
Yeah.
And when I went in and I saw a car that had pretty much everything I wanted, I said, I want that one.
Yeah.
I think just the question, what is it, Anna, that you make either very careful selections about, if it would be cars or something else?
I'm not sure the point you want to reach here.
Well, pick one.
Are you talking about the description?
Well, you brought it in, not me.
We have a few stories to tell you, Matt. I don't know if you're ready for this, but
okay.
I'm single. You know I'm single, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've been talking for this for a while because I'm reaching 30 in this year, so I'm trying to, starting to get a bit worried about all this stuff. So, week ago, we created with Laurie a job description for a boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah. It was very nice. The only thing that I forgot to add is that one of the requirements is to be single. The person should be single. So it was all wrong.
Okay.
Well, it actually started quite interesting because we were just chatting with Anna, and Anna, she's raising that concern quite a lot now because she definitely is worried about getting old, which she's still a youngster in our community.
Yeah.
But then we kind of came out with, why don't we create a job description for a boyfriend, and we put a structure to it, and then requirements, and what kind of the job entails, and what it offers.
Previous experience,
No.
qualifications. No. Okay.
No, we don't want to check previous experiences because you never know what happened there.
Yeah.
I actually asked.
Like, call up an ex, find out, are they really no?
Actually, there was a specific point in there that will not be checked for the benefit of both parties.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was really fun exercise. That no, but taking it to a bit more serious point is what what are your interests, Anna?
One of my main interests is photography. I love taking pictures. I mostly take pictures about nature and architecture. The city I'm living in right now, Montevideo, has lots of like old classic buildings that are a bit not, I don't know how you say it, but not so in a good shape. So they are that are the buildings that I love to take pictures at, the ones that are just a minute to fall. So yeah. And I also like to take pictures at the sunset or the dawn. It doesn't matter. The sun for me is very important. So that's one of my main interests.
Well, I'm not applying for the job because I have a permanent job. But I quite like photography as well, and I entered into a photography competition at my old work, and I just decided to, because I like to take pictures of nature. I would just go off walking in a random direction and try and find something, and I, like 5 minutes from where I worked, walked down near a railway yard, and there was a building right next to this railway that was all derelict and the roof was falling in. And I'm here like, oh, this is a great idea to climb inside this derelict building and start taking photographs at lunchtime while nobody knows where I am. So I did that. But yeah, I love to take photographs and stuff like that. But it's one of those things of just, unfortunately, with everything going on, I've just not been able to get out and to do stuff. But it has made me appreciate some of the things that are on my doorstep. So like, I live right on the cusp of a county park. So we kind of walk down there occasionally. There's a duck pond, and we walked off to a random direction. And it was just beautiful. Just there's fields and there's like waterfalls and there's like streams and there's all sorts. And we'd lived here for like 2 years at this point and never realized the beauty that we could see and we could photograph on our doorstep until we were essentially trapped here. Yeah, I'm really interested to read the job description. So I'm definitely gonna have to get a copy of this job description. I'll have to send it around some recruiters for you as well.
I am a bit embarrassed to share it. We didn't decide yet if we're gonna share it. Like, I don't know, Larry, what do you think?
Well, it is entirely up to you. It really depends what you're asking for. Because if you don't put description out, you may get the wrong people for the job.
Yeah. So, but for me, it's like opening a lot about myself and what I want. I will share it with you, Matt, for sure.
Yeah.
You will have a good laugh.
I won't laugh.
And now you're lying.
No. But I think that's an awesome idea. Like retaking something and like molding it to what you need it to be. That's like a great way to reevaluate. And by writing things down as well, you can process and understand if these things are important or if they're not important. So I think that's great for personal growth anyway.
Yeah, I realized when I was creating the job description, I realized I never thought what I really wanted. And Larry, one of the things that Larry helped me to create was what I was offering. So, and to be very sincere with that. So it was a very fun exercise, to be honest.
By the way, that's a great job, you know.
Well, yeah.
Whose idea was this?
I don't know.
I think it was very much close nearby. Anna, I think, started kind of listing requirements as we were chatting, and then I said, why don't you create this job description? And then she put one together. I said, no, that's not quite right formatted. The formatting is all wrong. You have to describe what the job role offers to whoever's going to take that on as well, not just the requirements. So she put that together, and it does look like definitely does look like a job role, but a great job role.
Yeah. I think any candidate would be lucky to get that job role.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll bring this to a close. Before we do you guys have anything that you'd like to advertise? So Anna, are you speaking at any upcoming events, or is there any stuff for the HR user group you want to talk about?
The only thing that I want to share is thank you very much for having me here. I'm very grateful for being part of this podcast, video, I don't know how you call the format. And you just feel free to check my webpage, where is everything I will be involved in.
I'll put all the links to your web pages and everything in the description, and people have it. Larry, are you giving your first talk?
Hold on.
Oh, hold on.
And also for the job description, you can reach that link.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Larry, are you giving your? I mean, you spoke at the certification Saturday, so that's not your first talk. But are you giving a talk at Scottish Summit by any chance?
I am giving a talk, and actually quite unusual topic is just because I've got experience, a little bit of experience about it, and it is about accessibility needs of people. So I have encountered a few people in my experience within the desktop support role, and then working with the dynamics and the elements of that, and I just want to share and show the community how what sort of challenges people with disabilities encounter, and how they develop actually different sort of abilities that surpass most of the able people's things, what they're able to do, what they can do, how they think even. So that is going to be my presentation.
That's awesome. That's actually been something that's been on my mind. It's almost like I researched this and knew that you were talking about that, because I've just talked to Mark Christie about accessibility for Scottish Summit and how they made all the slides accessible to people with annotations and stuff. And I just tweeted today about my pet peeve on hashtags, where people don't title chase hashtags, which means that people with screen readers may find it really hard to read. And I do remember as well a friend of mine talking about accessibility and dynamics and having a high contrast theme that people that had problems with their eyesight could switch on, and they worked with someone with a disability like that to try and create the perfect theme. And I think that's awesome. I'm definitely going to watch your talk, man. So that's one to look forward to, and I'll put the link to Scottish Summit in the description. But yeah, thank you guys both very much for speaking to me. It's been a pleasure, and I've got to know you a little bit better. So yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, he lived.
He left the meeting, but not stopped the recording.
I did not mean to leave there.
This is a blooper.
Yeah. And that was today's show. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to stay up to date with all my latest goings on, you can check out my blog at d365geek.co.uk. You can follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/Matt Collins Jones. You can find me on Twitter at d365geek, and I hope you stay tuned for the next episode. Ciao for now.